Trustees is called to order. Dr. Kinnaman, would you lead us in the pledge today, please, sir?
Ready? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could we have the roll call, please?
Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Trustee Sanchez.
Present.
Trustee Stefan.
Present.
Trustee Broughton.
Present.
Trustee O'Neill.
Present. Thank you. Board meeting agenda pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2B2. The board may take action on items of business not appearing on the posted agenda upon a determination by 2/3 vote of the board, or if less than 2/3 of the members are present, a unanimous vote of those present. That there is a need to take immediate action, and that need for action came to the attention of the local agency subsequent to the agenda being posted as specified. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda of November 15th, 2013?
Trustee O'Neill, if I may, could we have one public comment before we go to closed session? Make that one change. You sure? He doesn't have class?
Well, he'll come back at 10:30 if that's what.
Okay.
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 All right. Thank you. Are there any other additions, corrections, or deletions? Hearing none, there are no changes to the agenda. The agenda stands confirmed. We will now go into closed session. We will return to open session at 10:30. We will be in closed session from 9:30 to 10:15 with a break before returning. Okay? Thank you. We are going to make a little switch in the agenda. Two items, actually. Right now, we are going to have a recognition item, and then at 11 o'clock, we are going to have the introduction of new full-time staff. So wherever we are in the agenda at 11 o'clock, we will be stopping to do that introduction because that's when the staff will be here. So just those two little changes in timelines and activities. And Dr. Kinnaman, I will turn it over to you, please, sir.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, the balloons and the flowers are nice. And just an explanation. So Leanne's been with the COD for 7 years, and it's her anniversary. So thank you for 7 years.
Well, thank you.
And she said, she told me earlier, it just felt like a year. So,
I don't think that's exactly what she said, but okay.
One day could be a year.
I may have added those words. Actually, also today is the last board meeting for someone that's been with us as a consultant and also as interim executive vice president of student success and student learning. Someone that most of you have come to know his multiple personalities. And I would be remiss. A very, very, very good personal and professional friend that I hold, and I know many throughout the nation hold in very high regard. And been so fortunate over the recent months to have Don Burrs with us, and he's done some very good work with us on enrollment management, on prioritization and on working on processes, working on breaking down barriers and walls and improving communication and building trust. And, he's not perfect though, but he's a good man that is committed to what we're about, committed to the students that we serve, committed to the mission of the community college. And, when you're that passionate about things, you wonder, when somebody comes as an interim, you think they're going to come in and they're just going to maintain. Instead, he's kept most of us very exhausted, moving an agenda and trying to help us. And so with that, I wanted to recognize Don. And Don, I just want to, we want to give you a plaque today and have a little bit of cake. This just is presented to Don B. Burrs in appreciation for your outstanding guidance and leadership as Interim Executive Vice President, Student Success and Student Learning, College of the Desert. With deep appreciation and gratitude, the Board of Trustees, President, faculty, staff, and students of College of the Desert. So, thank you.
Thank you. Do I get a chance to say a few things?
You have a chance.
Okay. You never give me a mic, you know that.
Can you practice your brevity?
Yes. Thank you.
I know that's difficult.
Yeah, I know. You're going to I'll just you say everything Okay.
The mics can't pick up what we're saying.
Yeah.
No, we didn't hear a word of it.
Good. It was a little off-color.
I'll be as brief as I can. First of all, I did not expect this, and it's a surprise. And one of the things we've learned in at least my career is don't cause any surprises for the president or the board, and that's a no-no. And all of a sudden, the president's this is the first surprise he's had on me here. I've enjoyed my time here, both as a consultant and also as the interim executive vice president. I particularly have enjoyed my association, both professionally and personally, with Dr. Kinnaman. And I strongly and deeply and as sincerely as I can express it, the future for this college is boundless. It's tremendous. As I said before, you really are the only player in this whole valley. There is no other competition. And so the difference that you make in the lives of the students and the community is probably unfathomable. And why I agreed to work with Joel and the college is because I'd like to feel that whatever contribution I have made and could have made is because I always pride myself in trying to make a difference. I don't believe we should ever always just maintain the fort. We should always move it forward. And Joel is doing that. He's got a vision, the articulation of which I expect will be somewhat manifested in the board goals and his own goals. And then the team that he's putting together, which he's already begun to do, their new Vice President of Administrative Services, Stan as the Human Resources Executive Director, and more importantly, your new Executive Vice President when that person comes aboard. It takes a team at all levels. I've, in particular, also enjoyed my work with the deans. They are doing very difficult work. They are where the rubber meets the road. They are leaders in their own right, leading from the middle, as one would say. Working with the two faculty senate presidents has been not as challenged as it has been in other colleges I've been at. They are really our leaders. Your current Senate President is very committed to working in a collaborative, collegial way with the administration, and I've enjoyed that as well. And so I look forward, as I live here in this valley, to seeing great things developing and emerging further with this college. The board should be commended individually and collectively for their commitment and the support of the president and what we are trying to do. This is what we're all about, is students and serving the community. And I will be in touch with Joel, I'm sure, on other occasions. And so with that in mind, I know you all want to probably have a piece of that cake, or more importantly, you want to get on with your business that's before you today. And thank you very much for your support. Please keep up the good work.
Thank you, Don.
And since you live here, Dawn, I'm sure we'll be seeing you. Thank you very much for all your hard work. We really do appreciate it. We are now moving, are you done? Or no?
Unless you want 5 minutes of cake or anything, whatever you want to do.
Should we have cake? What's the board's pleasure? We have students and we have things. Maybe we can hold off the cake for a
Let's
little
hear the
bit.
students.
How
I
about
think
when
it'd
we
be
do
great.
the faculty, the new hire
Yeah,
recognition?
oh, that's a good time. That's a real good time.
Okay. All right, moving on to public comments. Persons who wish to speak to the board on any item may do so at this time. There is a time limit of 3 minutes per person and 15 minutes per topic unless further time is granted by the board. Your comments will be timed and you will be asked to stop speaking when the timer sounds. Please understand the board welcomes your comments, but it is not able to respond to those comments. We have 3 people wishing to speak today. The first is James, and I hope I don't mess up your name, Cuba? I was close. Come on up, James. And pull the microphone up so you can...
Okay. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the board for the time that I've been given today to talk about Mold Day and the opportunity that we were able to do. What we were able to do was we had a science day where Amistad High School, Bonnie Steffen, the board member, that's here today, she was able to bring her class, and these students were really great. I mean, they're from Amistad High School, so they weren't really that experienced in chemistry, and we were able to show them through this opportunity just some great experiments. I'm really thankful to Bonnie Steffen. I'm thankful to Professor Karash, who put this all together, and she puts it together every year. It's really, really great. And a whole bunch of students were able to not only mentor these students and tell them about the opportunities in the science field, which we want to encourage here at COD, but it was amazing, and I'm really thankful for that. And I just want to thank you guys at this time. Also, at this time, Mesa is also holding a science day. I'm also a Mesa member, so Mesa's holding a science day, and you guys are welcome to that too after this board meeting if you guys have time. I thank you guys for the time that I've been given, and thank you.
Thank you, James. Gazelle Osuna. And just for everyone's information, we have our new clock is working, and everybody has 3 minutes.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Giselle Osuna, and I'm a student here at College of the Desert. I'm majoring in biology, and on October 25th, we celebrated Mold Day with my professor, Jonah Karash, which James and I are taking organic chemistry with. So we had the great pleasure of showing these students who have never seen any chemistry or whatsoever. We were able to show them the combustion of magnesium. We were able to show them exothermic and endothermic reactions. And I think the fun part of it all, we were able to show them how to make polymers, which is silly putty and slime. So I think they had real fun with that. I wanted to present this board with a bunch of pictures, and we wanted to give it to Dr. Bonnie Steffen for giving us the opportunity to show these students that anything is possible, as hard as it may seem. They could do whatever they put their mind to. So we hope that in the future, with the collaboration of Professor Karash, that we are able to continue this Mold Day for other students, for other high school students, anyone who wants to participate. We really want to inspire people and tell them that there's better things in life, that you could set your mind to anything. So we want to present this board to Dr. Bonnie Steffen as a thank you gift. Thank you.
Of course.
All of these students should be teachers. And
Yes.
I looked at this a few minutes ago, and I showed them, there was one girl I had to literally drag out of her class to get on the bus that morning. I'm sorry. You almost and there was one student, this young man here, he was going to drop out of high school the week before. That day, I'm getting back toward the bus. He asked me, how do you get to go to COD? And there was another student, I found her earlier, but a young lady, she came to me this week and she said, I'm going to now take, instead of your class, I'm going to transfer out of your class and I'm going to take the college class where they teach them how to make out the applications and how to fill out the forms for financial aid and everything, and take the field trips to the other colleges, and she wants to become a nurse now. And it's because of the students at COD. And I owe them a great, I am just so indebted to you guys for that, because it's something that you were able to do in a few hours that you were with them, and with the experiments in chemistry, something that they didn't think that they could do ever. So thank you so very much. I will cherish this. Okay, can I do that? Can I have you guys come up? I'll get a group shot with this. And my lovely shirt. See my lovely shirt? They gave me a shirt. I don't know why they gave me a shirt. And Dr. Koresh, I can't thank you enough.
Thank her.
You guys are.
There you go.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor Kurish, while you're up, would you like to go to the to the speaker's table?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for this opportunity. This event, the Mall Day, was created to foster interest in chemistry, and chemists around the world and all over the United States celebrate this event every October 23rd. And I started this event in 2008. And between the high schools that I invited throughout the years was Palm Springs High School, Desert Mirage High School in Thermal, Palm Desert High School, Marywood, Palm Valley School, and this year Dr. Bonnie Stefan brought her students here. And it's a great experiment for a great event and experience for COD students to really show how much chemistry they know and explain it to the high school students. And some of my COD students will become teachers. And I can really tell when they perform the experiments and they explain the experiments who got the gift to become a teacher in the future. So it's great for everybody, for our COD students. I cannot thank them enough for their help and support, because we meet one Friday we meet to go over all the experiments and rehearse everything, and they are so helpful. They help me so much, and they want to be there, and they get excited about chemistry. And I want to thank them for their support. I want to thank Dr. Farmer every time he provides the food, and Dr. Jim Berg for his support every year, and our president, he showed up to this event. I want to thank everybody for their support, and especially Dr. Bonnie Stefan for coming to this event and making it special. And we hope to continue every year, or at least every 2 years, to do this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Continuing on, the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes of the regular meeting of September 20th, 2013? If there are no corrections to the minutes, they stand as approved. Next one, are there any corrections to the minutes of the regular meeting of October 18th, 2013? If there are no corrections to the minutes, they stand approved. We are now into reports. The first report, Ascot Association Student COD. Eleanor Campbell, please come forward. Good morning, Eleanor.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start off by saying that COD had the COD students had the honor of attending 3 different conferences, so I'm going to talk a little bit about each one. The first conference that I'm going to talk about is the Fall General Assembly. This is where 2 students from COD were able to attend in Monterey, California. The conference consisted of workshops, training students in leadership, but most importantly, students got to vote on a resolution process. These resolutions affect the community college system as a whole. A few of these areas in the resolutions that we discussed are accreditation, campus free speech, environmental and sustainability issues, financial aid issues, legislation, shared governance policies, student fees, veterans issues, educational policies, and shared governance. And so COD students got to participate in this assembly. The next assembly that COD students participated in was CSAL. This is a Community College Student Affairs Association. 5 students from COD attended this conference in Sacramento, and as well, it's training students in leadership and the different opportunities that are available for them. The workshops consisted of parliamentary procedures and how to run effective committees that work. Another conference that COD's students attended is the HAKU conference. This conference is a Hispanic association of colleges and universities, which represents more than 400 colleges and universities. 6 students from COD participated in this, and the workshops also consisted of leadership roles, and this conference also had panels where professionals from the federal careers were able to speak to students. They had a panel of professionals who give the opportunity of internships. They had another panel where graduate students, where they're speaking to students all over the nation, and we got to ask them questions. Out of 506 students who attended this conference, 6 of those were COD students, and 2 of them won cash prizes. So that was really neat. What's in store for COD, for ASCOD? We have lots of things in store, but what we're working on is the March in March. So we want to prepare in advance and, make sure that it's a great outcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Eleanor. Academic Senate, Douglas Redmond. Good morning, Douglas.
Good morning. Well, that was a great presentation from the students and Dr. Koresh, and we have outstanding students here. We have outstanding faculty. It's a privilege for me to represent them. Change agent. I didn't know Don was leaving this soon, but Don is a change agent, and thank you. Thank you from the Senate, because you have helped the Senate and the faculty. I thank you personally. I've learned a lot, and we're going to miss you. I'd like to thank the board and Dr. Kinnaman for the approval of funding for the instructional equipment, approximately $265,000 for equipment that's going to benefit the students and just increase our ability to offer more up-to-date and cutting-edge, relevant instruction for them. I'd also like to thank the board and Dr. Kinnaman for authorizing funds to update faculty computers. Some of them were, I guess, in the Etch-a-Sketch era. Others were not as far behind, but, and there were a lot involved with that process again. The deans, Mr. Burrs, the Senate Executive Committee, the chairs, and others. And it was a great collegial process. That same team, excitingly enough now, is focusing in on faculty hiring prioritization. We met Wednesday, and each school laid out their priority for hiring faculty. This next Wednesday, we hope to be able to deliver prioritized list from the college to Dr. Kinnaman, and our hope is that we'll be able to hire some full-time faculty. A couple of the goings-ons, the equivalency committee has had a few meetings trying to keep the standards up and make sure that our instruction and the instructors meet the requirements. I attended the fall plenary session in Irvine, where there were a number of resolutions voted upon. We're looking forward to the new executive vice president. I was on the selection committee, and there are some excellent candidates. The spring schedule has been mulled over and worked over a number of times, and that's exciting. The increase in sections, really looking forward to that. This semester is going by so fast. It will be done soon, and we're working on spring already. As Senate President, I'm working on my goals as Senate President that I hope to share with you possibly next month. Dual enrollment is continuing. There are still some questions and such. It was very timely. The State Academic Senate for Community Colleges is having a summit for K-12 and community colleges January 31st, and we're going to be sending a strong contingent to, again, explore how we can make this happen at College of the Desert. I think it'll be a positive thing for our students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Douglas. Faculty Association, Maria Hasso. I don't see Maria. All right, moving on. College of the Desert Adjunct Association, CODA, David Bayshore. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Leanne. I know why you think it was only 1 year, because you're thinking in terms of dog years, aren't you? Well, I've submitted a report, and I just want to go over some of the things that are in it to emphasize them for you. And I resubmitted a report that I gave you last academic year about some of the adjunct parity issues that we're facing and the wide gaps between where we are compared to the full-time faculty. And it's a long list, and unfortunately, since last year, nothing has changed for the better. The only change, as I pointed out in my written report, is that last year, adjunct pay was 39% of full-time pay. This year, it's 37%. So the gap is widening instead of getting closer. So we're looking forward to negotiations this year so that we can deal not only with that issue, but some other issues as well that are very important to us. So I encourage you to look at this carefully if you haven't read it carefully yet, because it's very important to all of us. What I didn't include in my report, because I only received it on Tuesday, is the Community College Journal that just came out, and in it is a list of all of the community college districts in the state and their average pay for part-time faculty. So I'd like to just review that with you. I'm sorry I don't have a copy for all of you. I couldn't get extra copies, but I'm going to try to see if I can get that, and if I do, I'll certainly pass it on to you. It's a little large to photocopy, but one way or another, I'll be sure that you get a copy of this. So if we look at the list, in the top 10 are some rather prestigious colleges like Foothill De Anza, Santa Monica. Oh, number 10 is Chabot Las Positas. Huh. They weren't paying that well when I taught there years ago. I wonder what happened in the meantime. Looking down the list, we have Antelope Valley is number 20. Riverside is 26. Victor Valley is number 50. We haven't gotten to us yet. Imperial, 59. And down here at number 61, I highlighted it for you so you can see how far down the list it is. There we are, 11th from the bottom. So I know that we don't like being that low on the list. I hope that you're not happy with it either, because we'd like to see ourselves moving up a little bit. And of course, nobody can be on the top of the list. We understand that. I mean, not everybody can be on the top of the list, but I think it's significant to notice that the people who are on the top of the list are earning more than twice what we are earning as an hourly rate. So they're getting more than double our pay. So there's a real big gap as well between the community colleges that are paying their adjuncts better than we are and the ones on the bottom like us. So there's another gap that I hope that we can close. So there's a lot for us to do this year, and we're looking forward to getting started with those negotiations. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Oh, and I'll miss you too, Dr. Burrs.
We have time for this, or do we want to stop now and do the? Is everyone here? One more coming, Stan? Okay, we'll continue with, you ready? We're 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're ready.
We're ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. We will, since we're a couple minutes before 11, we will hold off on the rest of the reports and move into the introduction of.
If I may, I'd be remiss if I did not share with the board that any accomplishments that may be attributed to my brief tenure here, either as a consultant or as the interim, are really attributed to the efforts of others. And it's not just the outstanding faculty and saying that because it's something nice to say, and the classified staff, but 3 individuals have been instrumental in that effort. And that would be Leanne and Marge Eklund when I was a consultant, and most recently Sharon Bernstein. Without that support staff, I think as administrators we would be somewhat lost.
Definitely.
And we need to acknowledge that. And so I want to commend the board for its commitment to hiring quality, good people at all levels. And I'm sure that when you select, the president makes his recommendation on the executive vice president, that will also be in that tradition. And thank you for your attention to that.
Thank you, Don. That's a good segue into our first introduction of, in many years, of new full-time employees. And I'm very happy to see that we are reestablishing this tradition. And I will now turn it over to Stan.
Thank you, Trustee O'Neill. Is this on?
Yes, sir, you're on.
We're going to do this briefly today since it's our first time in a couple of years, but we have a total of 8 new permanent employees since our last board meeting. 3 of them could not make it today, but I would like to introduce you to the 5 who could make it. I'm only remaining seated because this is the only way that I can stay with the microphone. First person I'll have stand up is from my office, Marisol Reyes. Marisol is responsible for gathering these people today and bringing them to us and reminding me how to introduce each one. In no particular order, if we could have Marisol show Jennifer Gardner up to the front, that desk, and we'll have them all stand together first and then applause afterward. Jennifer is a payroll specialist over in fiscal affairs, and we're very happy to have her join us. Second is Catherine or Kate Scoville. She is also a payroll specialist. They work together. They started at about the same time. We have a new arts technical specialist, and that's Mr. J.W. Lane. And Anna Soto is here with us also. Anna is a senior program specialist in student life. And last but not least, the gentleman that many of us know already, who is the new permanent Director of Development, Fund Development, Annual Giving, and Memberships at the Foundation, Mr. Peter Sturgeon. Those are the 5 who could join us today. Welcome to the COD family.
Let me say welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have all of you with us today. Some of us have, myself being one of them, worked here for 20-some years, so I know what it's like to be out there and be introduced and be part of this family. So thank you for sharing your lives with our students and our staff and our faculty. Thank you very much. Thank you, Stan. Is that everything?
Would you like to say a few words?
Yes, very quickly. That's why we have Marisol. She reminded me that the names of the 3 people who could not join us today are Angelica Juarez, who is an admissions and a record specialist, Jess Salais, he is a security officer, and Wanda De Hoyos, who is a mail technician. They couldn't join us today, perhaps next month.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Chairman O'Neill, would any of them like to say anything? Any of you? I mean, it's an opportunity. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we are now at the COD Alumni Association. Jean Marchou says it's not able to attend, but there's Jean.
Oh, Jean.
My paper lies, Jean. You're physically here. Welcome to morning, Jean.
Well, good morning, everyone. Each day, more and more customers are coming out to the street fair. And we have a giant 3-day street fair coming up Thanksgiving weekend. We'll be open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 29th, 30th, and December 1st. The Alumni Association provided a shuttle cart to the Palm Desert Rotary for the annual golf cart parade, and their float came in second place for nonprofits. Yes, thank you. The Alumni Pathway Student Scholarship Club meets every other week. Currently, they have planned a Thanksgiving potluck dinner at the Hilb Center on Friday, November 22nd. They are also making plans to return to the Palm Springs aerial tram. The Alumni Association is sponsoring their annual Pie Social on Wednesday, November 20th from 9:30 to 11:30. The annual Donut Social will be held on Wednesday, December 18th from 9:30 to 11:30. That's always a fun time for everyone on campus to come visit the Alumni Center and to enjoy great conversation and great coffee. On a sad note, Shirley Chandler, who was my administrative assistant for over 15 years, has decided to retire when she turns 65 December 6th. We will miss her expertise, her skills, and her talent she had with dealing with over 300 street fair merchants. We will sorely miss her. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Jean. California School Employees Association, Laura Jimenez. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. CSEA Chapter 407 Holiday Celebration. As a reminder, the classified staff hopes that Dr. Kinnaman and our trustees will join CSEA chapter members in our holiday celebration at the Craven Student Services Center Multipurpose Room on December 20th. We had originally scheduled the end of semester celebration for 1 week earlier as not to conflict with the Board of Trustees meeting on the 20th. But then, when it was decided to make your meeting a week earlier, we postponed our celebration such that you might still be able to attend. This worked out well since this freed this room for your meeting on its new date. If you would be kind enough to let us know through Leanne if you're likely to attend, we'd appreciate it so that we can have a good count as we plan the meal. CSEA chapter news. Seems hard to believe that only 1 year ago, together we, the trustees, administration, faculty, classified staff, community members, and most importantly students, were celebrating our success with the passage of Proposition 30. We continue to be thankful for the 3% salary increase across all the groups and the flexibility that Prop 30 funds are allowing our district as the district identifies needs and provides staffing resources to needs that have been left unfilled and to address workload issues resulting both from unfilled vacancies and from increased demand for administrative and instructional support. Staffing for the new EVC facilities. Classified staff both at the Indio location and at the Palm Desert campus are excited about the upcoming opening of the new facility. We hope that the new facility will provide the needed space and resources to expand course offerings and student services for students living nearby. We have brought up the topic of staffing levels and increases to provide services and support to the increase in students. We're beginning discussions on the need for additional administrative and instructional support staff, as well as security, maintenance and operations, custodians, and IT staff. This is a consideration as we transition from a leased facility supported by the county to one owned by the college. It's not unlike when one becomes a homeowner after years of renting. When the garage door opener or the water heater breaks, as mine did over the weekend, this is true, the landlord we call is ourselves, and so that's the difference. CSEA history. Back in my August report, talked about the beginning of CSEA, and I promised to continue through the decades, and it just didn't happen until now. So now we're with the 1930s. For classified employees, known at the time simply as non-certificated workers, the Great Depression era meant more hours and less pay. By the end of the decade, classified employees won the right to paid leaves of absence for illness. 1940s. In the years following World War II, CSEA established itself as an important part of the education community. In just 10 years, membership shot up from 1,400 members to nearly 10,000. Having found strength in numbers, CSEA demanded the basic rights and benefits which had been enjoyed by teachers for years should finally be extended to classified employees. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Don for your contributions to College of the Desert and ultimately to all our students. I would personally like to thank you for your investing your time to educate this youngster, as you're fond of saying. One of the strengths that Don has is his ability to set up processes and for he himself also to mentor leaders, both in administration and as I consider myself a leader as well. In that aspect as well. So thank you. That concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauro. COD Foundation, Jim Hummer. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. I'll be very brief. 3 items. Number one, as you probably read in the paper, and some of you were in attendance, the Women of Distinction event was spectacular. We had over 175 attendees. Well, I think we kind of set a new bar. This is the first annual Women of Distinction. I think the Academic Angels will continue that because women really help drive the cause of education. And we want to honor the women that have participated year after year. I was talking with Donna Jean this morning. I said, you know, right now we got candidates that could probably fill our calendar for the next 5 years at a start. But we will continue that on because it is a great event. Second of all, I put at your place the examples of 2 articles that in fact are going to be in the Desert Sun. We have the next 24 Saturdays in the Empire section, page B3, there will be an article about a different student, a different alumni, highlighting the accomplishments of them and the College of the Desert. And as part of our messaging to get people out there and also our asking to support what we do here at the College of the Desert. Finally, we all know it takes a lot of beans to go to college. So we want to make sure you all get over to the chili cook-off. I kind of call it jeans, beans, and the black tie. So it's going to be a fun night. We have 3 celebrity chefs, Donna McMillan, Jim Houston, and Carl Karcher, who will be vying for the honor of winning the chili cook-off. I think we're probably going to give them a golden bean or something. But anyway, it's going to be a fun evening. It's a great fundraiser conducted by the Academic Angels, and hopefully we'll see you all there. And I guess I'll see you at 1:30 about our audit. Thank you very much.
Yes, and I want to thank you for Jesus is one of my former students that I work very closely with,
great.
and he's an amazing individual, and it's so great to have him be honored by the foundation.
And that's a role that you can all play. In fact, Aurora Wilson was telling me this morning about another person. I've already done an email to Kay, and you have contacts throughout this community that are great stories. That's what you can do, is forward them to me. We'd love to highlight every story there is.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. And we'll see you at 1:30. Okay, we are on the governing board. Oh, you're here? I'm sorry.
She's here.
I didn't see you sneak in. Well, you're late, so I'm sorry. No, come on. The Faculty Association, Denise Diamond. Professor Diamond, please. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to come in a little bit late. I actually have a place up in Idlewild, and because of the summer fires, I had the opportunity to participate, and the town did a FEMA grant, and I am one of the people who had a chance to participate. So I actually was with the roofing and the fire council this morning and made it down the hill as quickly as I could. Thank you very much. As a faculty member, I'd like to just take a moment to appreciate Dia de los Muertos and Trustee Mary Jane Sanchez for her support. And I think you were out there bailando, dancing. I think I saw you. So it was really fun to collaborate with another one of my colleagues in the language department, with Pilar, and also the student government, and putting on what was a fun celebration. And we used the gallery, so it was a multi-disciplinary event, and I think that it was, well received. So thank you for coming, and thank you for the support. And then just as a community member, I'd like to appreciate Jean Marchou. I know you're back there, Jean. And the work of the street fair. I took the opportunity to go shopping and to thank the vendor and introduce myself as a faculty member and thank them. They actually were a vendor that had been with us for about 15 years. So I just wanted to personally thank them and let them know that we're very supportive and appreciative of how the whole street fair works. As the report of the Faculty Association, the Executive Board of the Faculty Association, I asked for a meeting with Don Burrs to hear the presentation, in particular, of the funding formula for College of the Desert. We really appreciate the time that you took to meet with the Executive Board. We also invited the Adjunct Faculty Association Executive Board, and some were in attendance there. So we had a very good meeting and discussion, and we appreciate your time and the information there. Just as part of the reporting, so you know what's going on, the Faculty Association has filed what is called, it's just the name of it, it's called a demand to bargain. This is related to the dual enrollment pilot program. There are numerous concerns that the faculty does have, even though it appears to be something not related to the faculty at College of the Desert. We do have a little bit of a different view on that. We have received a response, as is protocol, from HR, and we appreciate that. We are reviewing it, and we will respond to it. There are numerous concerns in this pilot program, in particular the faculty's role in helping to identify what are appropriate or could be appropriate courses in our relationship with the K-12s in the community, the identification of what are going to be the hiring and evaluation issues, because all of this is taking place over at the high school site. Some of us are quite familiar with that domain. Many of us have taught in the high school arena, so we do have some concerns that we'll work through. Additionally, I am working with Stan on the MOU as just an update regarding Board Policy 7141. We agreed to do that work, and we're continuing there. We do have 2 more faculty who will be in that pre-retirement plan as of spring 2014, so that makes a total of 4 faculty who are now participating in that plan, which I think is the most we've had in quite some time. So we appreciate being able to work that out. I'd in particular like to thank HR and the people on your team, Stan, and particularly Misty, for being quite available to one of our faculty members in their time of need. And your staff was really terrific, and we thank you very much for that. The association is preparing for bargaining in spring semester, so we will be coming back, sunshining our allocated 3 items, and we look forward to that before the semester ends. We do remain concerned about reorganizational plan for the college and its effect on working conditions, because it does affect several areas as they get reorganized. One of them might an example of one might be the library and some of the things that we need in the instructional IT area. We're waiting to hear about the budget numbers so that we will know what we will be able to have for new faculty hires, and they are being prioritized as we speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you for running the clock out so we haven't heard it work yet. It's better than the dog barks that we used to have. Thank you, Denise. That takes us to the governing board reports, and Trustee Broughton, you get to go first today because this is the last time you'll get to go first for 12 months.
Right. I've had my usual exciting month. We had, Bonnie and I attended a 2+2 meeting with the city of Indio. They are so excited about our campus coming on track, so to speak, opening in February. They can hardly contain themselves. I won't be surprised if there's celebrations in the street. They're so excited. They are looking for other ways that we can cooperate with the city, perhaps other venues that would be helpful for us to fulfill some of the needs. And they're as concerned as we are about those minor issues, such as parking. So they have some good ideas, good things, good plans are in place. We're all looking forward to that. We had our monthly East Valley Committee Friends and Alumni meeting, an agenda review. But what I would really like to speak to today is my visit to Amistad. It was Bonnie has invited us on several occasions, and one of them I could actually take her up on. It's a wonderful facility. It is an important feeder school. We sometimes forget that it's a feeder school. They have an automotive shop to die for. It was really a lot of fun to walk through the halls, they gave us minders, student minders, so that we didn't stray off of our path too far or play with any toys we shouldn't. But the wonderful discussion that was going on between these young people was whether they should take this course or that course. There were so many opportunities, they were having a hard time deciding what classes to take. That is so refreshing from the usual conversation or the frequent conversation of, oh, I don't know what I'm going to take next year. I have to take these things. It was really wonderful. I thank you for that opportunity. The big request that we received when we were there was, did we think, that would be Bonnie and I, did we think that we could get a large banner that says COD to put up in the automotive department? Now this could be because I was standing there drooling over this engine, this car engine, or wanting to play with their welders, but anyway. And I said, well, how large are you thinking of? And he says, well, I'd like it to be, I've saved you a spot. I'll show you where it is. When the students are sitting in class listening to lectures and participating in classes, I want them to see it right up there in front of them so that it says College of the Desert, so they will remember that it's the College of the Desert that's their next destination. So this is a pathway, this is a program, this is a relationship that's truly working. They speak highly of the college, of the professors, of the dean that deals with applied sciences. It's a very good relationship. We should celebrate those things that work, and that one does. We are giving many students an opportunity to walk down a path that they choose, a path where one can actually get a job and make a living. So I'm looking very forward to helping that relationship. And Bonnie, thank you again for inviting us to go. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Sanchez Fulton. Trustees Fulton's asked for a few additional minutes. Is that all right with the board?
Okay. Just on the same vein, Becky, doing that pathway is so critical at our local high schools here in the Coachella Valley. In particular, just wanted to thank our teacher out in Desert Hot Springs that brought a field trip and came out to our Public Safety Academy, and we were featured also in Univision, so we were able to translate that in Spanish as well and explain the great things that we're doing in our public safety. So we have these academies and transitioning, and that's going to be, I believe, in our agenda, the critical need to train our students here at COD in careers of EMT, public safety, first responding. I think that's so critical, and we were very grateful that a busload of students got to actually go on a training course. So if, they were carrying a dummy. It was quite fascinating, actually. So they got that hands-on experience, and their eyes were wide open. So I just want to thank the faculty and staff from the Public Safety Academy for putting that together. It was a very huge eye-opener for all these students that their goal just is to graduate and to come back to the Coachella Valley and serve as a first responder. So that was very, very nice. Also wanted to thank Alas con Futuro Club for allowing me to give the opening remarks to the AB 40 students. What an eye-opening. It was so nice that it was a student-led workshop for our faculty and staff. I think we should do a lot more of these student-led workshops here in our campus, and giving them that opportunity to learn and how to give workshops. So I just thought that was phenomenal. Also wanted to talk as the delegate for the Riverside San Bernardino County Educational Summit. It was quite fascinating going on the vein of creating these pathways from P through 14 and creating these partnerships with our local high schools. Very, very key. Also wanted to talk about the attending the Riverside County Office of Education Summit, where we highlighted 2 of our high schools here in the Valley. Palm Springs High School won several awards on their programs, so that was quite great to see. We also wanted to talk about the Dia de los Muertos program. What an honor that was to bring our faculty, our staff, and the community. And that's what a community college is about, is bringing all our community partners to our college. So I thought that was great, and I want to thank all the faculty and staff that put that together. Really wonderful. Also, wanted to mention the CVEP luncheon, and I brought, if the board members could show, I brought some the bags to our fellow board members, and so I think it's really great that this is what at our annual, and the most important aspect of are you going to be mentioning that, President Kinnaman, the role of education? Are you going to in your report, or
you feel free to cover that if you'd like? Are you reference to the pathways in the CVEP program?
Yeah,
yes.
I think it would be great because President Kinnaman, your role, and just wanted to mention it's great to see you in Palm Springs Life magazine as well as so. And so that was kind of interesting.
They did a nice touch up on that picture.
Most of all, our Veterans Day. Donnie, it was great. Having walked in our Veterans Day parade in Palm Springs was absolutely phenomenal. And our Veterans Day, Aurora attended, President Kinnan attended here on our campus, celebrating the over 300 student veterans and how we support our student veterans. It was such a beautiful celebration to put that on and to participate and honor our students and just giving back to they have given us liberty. Now we want to give them back in education. So we will always support our student veterans, and I just want to thank our faculty and staff and using our area. That quad area was absolutely incredible. So our veterans, and I believe Donnie and all, if I've missed a couple of the staff, just thank you very much for all your hard work to put that together for us. And Donnie was featured in the Desert Sun, so that was great that she was mentioned. Wanted to also, I think that's it. Just, the campus. Just wanted to talk about Desert Hot Springs. Had a meeting with the city manager, and we just want to make sure that I'm very excited for the Indio campus, and just very excited that we get an update for our Desert Hot Springs learning facilities. So just kind of working on that. We also attended the Sunline meeting last month regarding the student passes. Just kind of wanted to reiterate the importance that the transportation, that we have accessible transportation for our students here in the Coachella Valley. So thank you very much. And it's also 1 year that I have been served as so I want to thank all of you Very grateful, and I'm very, very proud of COD. So 1 year today. So,
Wow.
Thank you, trustee. Trustee Stefan,
How much time have I already used up?
14 minutes. No,
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Probably. I'm sorry.
Now's your official. That was your unofficial. This is your official.
I'm going to go backward this month. On Wednesday night, the last event I attended that evening was the COD Scholarship Club event at the California Pizza Kitchen. And I don't know how many people attended that, but I had a great conversation with my waiter. He told me all about all of his family members, how each of them had had the opportunity to come to COD at one time or another. He isn't planning to come here because he's going to become a truck driver, a professional truck driver, and own his own company. But his sister is planning to come back to further her education. I was very glad to be able to overeat and then take stuff home in a doggy bag because only 20% of the check went to the scholarship club. But that's all right. The other event that I attended was the EOPS Care academic recognition ceremony, and Trustee Sanchez gave a wonderful inspirational speech at the very beginning. It was really great, and she did something that I could never do, and that's she translates everything into Spanish. I wish I were bilingual too. What really made the evening a super highlight for me, though, was two of the students that received awards were former students of mine. One had been in my 6th grade math class back in 1995. People do listen, and sometimes they wake up, is what I always say. And the other one had been a student of mine in math, 6th grade, 1993. And they both commented separately that they remembered me saying, you can go to COD. I didn't always have a doctorate because I had my doctorate at that time. I went back to a community college because I bombed out in college the first time around. And I went to my community college and it made all the difference, and they remembered that. And I don't mind sharing that with my students. I think that's important to share with my students. I wasn't born with a doctorate. And another thing that I really want to thank both Trustee Broughton and Trustee Wilson for attending the open house at my school. It really meant a lot to my students to be able to have individuals from College of the Desert. We also had Dr. Carl Farmer there. And he was able to see all over my board where I had pasted all of the stuff about Mesa and about COD on one section, and I have my big poster on the other wall. So everywhere the kids turn, they can see COD, COD. Plus, yesterday they were reminded again, today I would be out at COD doing my commitment here. So COD is at the forefront, and my students realized when they were taking these individuals around that this was really great. And they kept coming back to me throughout the evening and saying, how come COD's here? How come COD's here? And I said, because they wanted to see who their new students were going to be. And so I really want to thank everyone from the college that attended. And we had a counselor there. One of the counselors showed up. He's going to be our counselor this year, I understand. And so I was really, really happy that they were able to meet the students and see the new campus. And if anybody wants to come out, just come out when we're in business and tell the principal you need to see me. I'll get you a tour with one of my students, okay? So don't feel like you were left out. The other thing is on the 30th, we had the foundation board meeting. And I'm sure you're going to hear a lot in the future about what they have planned for their 30th anniversary that's coming up. And I really know it's going to be grand. You already were given some insight into the wonderful, positive publicity that they're going to be having with the Desert Sun. And that will make a lot of difference. You've already heard me talk about Mole Day, but I didn't mention the faculty. The faculty was so great. Dr. Bob I don't know his last name, I just know him as Dr. Bob, in the chemistry department, made us ice cream. Dr. Curash made us ice cream. My kids brought their pies. They had been making pies for 2 weeks. They had to bring pies to share. And Dr. Farmer opened up the Mesa room. The students told me they felt right at home in the Mesa room. They loved doing the chemistry experiments. Some of the professors came in. I know we had representatives from the math department there. And my students, to them, math is a foreign language and everything, but they said they felt so at home and so comfortable and everything. They're eager to take stuff now. Can I have just, I just have 2 more.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. The other thing was I attended the Will Any Gentleman. I know some of the other trustees attended this event. It was hilarious. It really was great. And the last thing was the keyboard conversations with Jeffrey Siegel. It brought me back to when I was a little kid, and I got to attend the symphony in downtown San Diego and had to dress up with all my classmates, and we had to behave. It's totally different being in a theater, listening to somebody explain the music so you can understand it, than it is just going and listening to it.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Wilson, please.
Thank you. You know, I wear several different hats. I'm also a volunteer on several different boards here in the Coachella Valley. So sometimes when I attend events, I also wear my COD board trustee hat. I also attended the keyboard conversation event. It was really, really wonderful. Well done. I love Gershwin. He's my favorite composer. I also attended the AB 540 workshop with Trustee Sanchez Fulton. Really well done. I'm also a member of the Jocelyn Center Board of Directors, and so they had a fundraiser at Rancho Mirage Councilmember Smotrish's residence, and so I attended that event with my COD hat on. I'm also on the board of the Friends of the College of the Desert Library, and they had a big book sale at the end of October. And they did really well. We raised about $8,000, so selling books. It all goes back to the library, to our COD library here. So I really enjoyed participating in that. And then Chair Darby asked me to attend the COD Foundation board meeting that Trustee Bonnie Stefan attends, and to listen to their new strategic plan. So it was a pleasure to be part of that. Very exciting to hear about the new plans of the foundation. And I also attended the Athena Awards at the Desert Willow with Donna Jean. And got to meet our COD scholarship recipients. So what wonderful stories the recipients have. And again, attended the Amistad High School. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the young lady that took me around. Very bright. Really knew the high school, and just a pleasure to talk with her. Attended the Coachella Valley Mountains Conservancy barbecue with Palm Desert Mayor Pro Tem Gene Benson at the Whitewater Park in Whitewater. So really enjoyed that event and getting our electeds caught up on what's happening with College of the Desert. And it was an honor for me to walk with the College of the Desert Gay Straight Alliance with Leanne and President Kinnaman and faculty in the Palm Springs Gay Pride Parade. And also attended the Cal State San Bernardino fundraiser that was held at the Bellatrix. So I attended that event. And actually, that was held on my birthday, but you tried telling Jan Oliphant that you can't go because it's your birthday. But I attended, and she did remember. And then the College of the Desert Friends of the Library did have a Meet the Author event at the Catalan in Rancho Mirage that I attended with my COD hat on. And also attended the Veterans Day ceremony here on campus with Trustee Sanchez Fulton and President Kinnaman. It was a great ceremony. Sean Nicholson did a great job as the Master of Ceremonies. And I also got to tour the Resource Center. It was just also great to see that the Desert Sun recognized the director of that Resource Center on Veterans Day. It was great to see that recognition there. And I attended the COD Foundation Women of Distinction Award event at Morningside with Trustee Sanchez Fulton and the president. And I too had dinner at California Pizza Kitchen, trying to get that 20% for the COD. Brought some of my friends there too. Yeah. So very busy. You know, we are out there trying to do the best that we can to represent College of the Desert, and it's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee. Student trustee Campbell. Caught you again, huh?
No chocolate this time. Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Or we're still morning, right?
We're still morning.
We're still
Three
morning.
more
Okay,
minutes.
good. Wow. That's good. So I attended the fall 2013 Student Leadership Conference at Seesaw on October 18th through 20th, which wasn't her last board meeting, but I wanted to explain a little bit about this conference. This conference consists of workshops such as connecting with your advisor and how to have a positive attitude with your advisor. Also, this conference was I attended workshops that helped you basically how to teach you how to run effective programs and meetings and events. And another workshop that I attended was a statewide student government and current issues. It related to WSCCC, which is our Student Senate of California Community College, which we represent we have 2.3 million students, so they're the voice of all of our community colleges. And they discussed about the structure and what they have bills and things that they have trying to get passed and things that they have passed already. So I think that was a really beneficial part of that workshop. It updated me and let me know what they already have done. I got a chance to have the opportunity to attend a workshop there, which was I'm not gonna say the word because it's funny right here, but just I'm gonna say word because there's an F before. But the speaker was a motivated speaker. I heard his testimony, and what I really liked about his testimony was that he talked about community college, and he said how it is a gateway to all universities. We're the foundation. We're basically, if going through us will make you successful to get to the UCs, the Cal States, or even the private institutions. So be proud to be a community college student because they are one of the most successful students and be proud. Be proud to work for it. Be proud to be a student. So I think that's what I really liked about the conference. And also, another reason why I attended this conference was because it gave me the opportunity to meet with CAS. It's our California Community College Student Trustee Association. And that's when all of our CAS members get together, and student trustees. And we actually basically discuss about the structure and our bylaws and constitution, how we can make it better for the next student trustees. Because the whole thing about getting our trustees together is to bond and also get a better move forward, not to get stuck in one place. So I really liked that conference. I also attended the Haku conference. I was nominated, and I did get to write an essay, and I did get to attend. I got to go with a really great bunch of people, and they are very unique people in a good way. And we had a really good time. We had a time to communicate, talk about issues on campus, talk about some of them never ever traveled out of state or even traveled at all. So I think it was a really great experience to hang out with those fellow people. And at that conference, I snuck off to a couple of advisor meetings because I wanted to hear about the grants and stuff because my mind's already I'm thinking about other things. But I'm looking at my time, so that's what got me going. One thing that I did bring back was I also was able to attain about new programs, internships, which was a program called Congress Hispanic Caucus Institution. It's basically the institution program which seeks to expose young Latinos to the legislative process and strengthen their professional and leadership skills, ultimately increase their presidents and at the Capitol Hill and federal agencies. So basically what this is they have a program where they get to meet with Congress and they work with Congress basically, and there's for the spring there's 12 weeks and for the fall there's 12 weeks, and it's an internship. So I got to bring that back, and there's other stuff we have in our ASCOT office where we're basically distributing it to students and to other fellow AS members. One thing I also attended was Alas con Futuro Club. They had an event. This event basically was ran by students, and I really enjoyed it. It was basically, the purpose was to inform faculty, staff, and even students about what AB 540 is. And at this event, they talked about what the guidelines, well, basically what the law. Can I have 1 minute? What the law was, and what guidelines requirements for eligibilities to become by 40. Also, they discussed about affidavit, in which serves two purposes. One is to verify the student meets the education requirement, and the second is to certify the intent to establish a legal residence, but not actually making a full resident. So basically what it is they were there to tell us about the process and tell us that they don't have a vote or voice right now, so we are their vote and voice. So they're basically reaching out to the staff and students to say, we're doing okay, this is great, 540 is great, but we want to be like the other students here too. Yes, they have a license. Like one story was that one of the student member, he didn't have a driver license. Now he's able to get his driver license, so he can now he can drive his car to school, and he can make sure he can take night classes, and he can make it on time. So I think that was a really touching story to me, and there was a lot of touching stories. And I think that we're privileged as as me being a student, and I don't have to go through that. I think I'm very privileged, and they open my eyes to see what they go through. So I think everyone, if you can learn about AB 540, was a great committee. And last one, student orientation. I have a ad hoc committee. It basically I chaired it. It's on for ASCON, and we're basically talking about making a survey about the student orientation. But also I was invited to from Zarel Becker to orientation logic discussion, and it seems like it's going really good. They have a good structure, and that concludes my report. That's too much time.
Thank you, trustee.
May I make a comment? I just have to let you know, one of the AB 540 students was so touched on your comments, how you inspired him. So just wanted to tell you how it's great to have you on our board, and that you're mentoring other students, and they were just very happy that you gave them that words of wisdom. So I just wanted to.
Thank you.
It was great.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to be very brief. Most of this month I have not been in town, so I was able to attend a few things, though. The conversations with Jeffrey Siegel was outstanding, and I thank the foundation and the McCollum Theater for that afternoon. It was a great way to sort of kick off the season here in the desert, and it was a very, very good event. I attended the agenda meeting and various other normal meetings for the month. I do want to recognize Donnie Prince also. I've known Donnie for 23, 25 years, and she has been the Veterans Department all that time, and it was great to see her and the work that we do with conjunction with her for our veterans on Veterans Day. So we need to acknowledge that. And if you have not visited the Veterans Center, you should, because if you think it's still that one little cubby hole with a desk and two chairs, it's no longer that. So it's an outstanding facility, and we finally have brought that program up to a level that we should be very proud of it. This is my last meeting as chair, just a few comments. I want to thank Carlos and the president for agreeing to put a parliamentarian in our board meetings this year. And you'll notice we're all sitting on chairs that look like they're comfortable, because they are. And, and after suffering for many years now, we now are functioning a little bit more like a more formal board that we should be, and our wonderful little clock, which is working so much nicer than our other timers. So we made some changes this year. We've made some changes in our structure, and I think we are moving forward. As has been said a number of times today, we're always moving forward. You never stay the same, and I thank everyone for their support for this year. And that now takes us to the president's report.
I tried to yield my year to you, but you wouldn't accept it.
I tried to accept it for him.
Thank you.
I'm just playing with you, Trustee Broughton. I'm looking forward to it, and certainly appreciate the past year with Trustee O'Neill. It's been a real pleasure, and a true professional and committed to COD. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to run through some things really, really quick, like bullets, because some of them have been said, and I'm going to miss some things I know, and then somebody can criticize me for that later, and then I'll put it on the list next time. But again, Mole Day was great. We also had Dr. Hardy. She has the 16th annual symposium of Coachella Valley Archaeological Society here recently. It was a great event. And kudos to her. We also, the Women of Distinction with the Academic Angels, recognizing 6 women of distinction. We had the affiliate project here yesterday, and Reve Reynolds, I think, had coordinated that, is my understanding. And again, an outstanding project for very young women in our community that work through their educational programs and mentor programs in the affiliate project. Thank the Executive Vice President Committee. They have forwarded 5 finalists that the Cabinet will be interviewing beginning tomorrow, actually. And we're very, very excited about that possibility. Not any one of them would be able to replace our interim VP, but because of his uniqueness. And so we look forward to seeing that process through. We also had one of our own, Gene Karras, that's on the foundation, was recognized at the Association of Fundraising Professionals this week as the Philanthropist of the Year. Thank our Alumni Association, our foundation, for supporting our MESA students and other students in CTE programs in the Golf Cart Parade in Palm Desert, where they received the Chairman's Award, and Bert Patanga and Reve were instrumental in pulling that off. Donnie did a great job. I also want to acknowledge the Bighorn Charities that provided the resources necessary to put together the Veterans Center here at COD. Again, this community is such a giving community that, every time we have an opportunity to say thank you, I think it's important. Chris and I enjoyed joining Trustee Stephanon, Trustee Broughton, and other faculty, staff, and students with the Pride Parade in Palm Springs. GSA, again, I think this is their second year since I've been here that they've participated, and so it's good to see them turn out. Let's see here. Faculty hiring priorities, again, that's been alluded to. We're moving forward on that. It is critical on our agenda. There are several things that we don't speak to or respond to when people give their reports, but many of those things that have been mentioned, without going into detail, are critical to our agenda for our college because they're very important and they speak to what we value. And the one last thing I want to do is read a letter. And I'm going to try to do this quick. Dr. Kinnaman, I am writing this letter as a former College of the Desert student and a few weeks after entering into my second year of law school at California Desert Trial Academy, Indio, California. The purpose of this letter is to thank College of the Desert for its commitment to education and to acknowledge the pivotal role that Professor Jack Tapleshay has had on my continuing education and my life's course. Qualitative research shows that the single most important factor determining the excellence of an education is the quality of the teacher. When I first enrolled in composition taught by Professor Tapleshay, I had no idea that I was about to encounter a professor whose dedication to his subject matter is matched only by passion for teaching. Professor Tapleshay finds ways to motivate and engage everyone. He builds relationships with students from a variety of backgrounds and provides each student with the support that they need to succeed. Prior to successfully completing Professor Tapleshay's course, I had a very limited writing abilities. As a result of the improvement that I made in his class, I have recently achieved one of the most important milestones in my life. Not only did I pass the California first-year law students examination on the first attempt, I had the highest average in the writing section of this exam of my entire first-year law school class. As a result of Professor Tapleshae's influence on my writing and education, I am well on my way to achieving my education goals. I sincerely thank Professor Tapleshae and College of the Desert. Warmly, Nicole L. Ebarb. So, again. And I know that you probably receive letters like this, and many of our deans and others probably receive letters, but it's nice when you receive unsolicited letters affirming the quality of the teaching that takes place here and the experience that our students have, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for mentioning Bighorn. I forgot. I meant to do that. Thank you very much.
President Kinnaman, maybe we should also acknowledge our EOP and CalWorks ceremony that happened as well. So I thought that was such a great opportunity that we had. We had 44 recipients of our award ceremony, and we did welcoming remarks, and it was such a pleasure to acknowledge the friends and the family and the life jacket that all our teachers play here. So just want to acknowledge that.
Okay, thank you. We're moving on to the consent agenda, and then we will break for closed session. All items on the consent agenda will be considered for approval by a single vote without discussion. Any board member may request that an item be pulled from the consent agenda to be discussed and considered separately in the action agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any discussion? Student trustee, your advisory vote, please.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion has carried. So we will.
Can we have some cake?
Yes, we have 5 minutes for cake, and then we'll go with the closed session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Really do keep us in our tight.
Okay. Do you want me to say we're back? We're back in session. The board does have some information to report out from closed session. In closed session, a motion was made by trustees Sanchez Fulton, second by trustee Bonnie Stefan, to authorize President Kinnaman to enter into a 2-year employment agreement to appoint Dr. Dan Martinez as Director of Research. In closed session, a motion was made by trustees Sanchez Fulton, seconded by trustee Bonnie Stefan, to authorize President Kinnaman to enter into a 2-year employment agreement to appoint Ann Taylor as Chief of Staff. Both motions were carried with 5 members voting in favor. The motion carried 5-0. Do you want to talk about the individuals or not?
Certainly. And I also want to thank both committees. Again, it seems that we've been very fortunate with all the finalists that have been being forwarded. It makes it very difficult. I was commenting to the trustees. Oh, I'm not supposed to say what I said, so I'll say it differently. When you're in there and you're wanting to hire more than one person because you're like, wow, they'd be great for this institution. They really are passionate about the mission of a college, and they just excite you, and what they value comes out. And so we had that with so many of these individuals that have been forwarded for consideration. Dr. Martinez has 23 years of experience at community colleges in progressive research roles. He has exceptional references, and he's at Riverside Community College currently. Ann Taylor, 33 years of experience. She's been a district director for elected officials in operating their offices. She has been governmental relations and community relations for CSU, Cal State University East Bay. Again, exceptional references. Recently, I got an exceptional reference from Barbara Lee's chief of staff in D.C., and Ann's been the chief of staff, or the district director in the Oakland office for Congresswoman Barbara Lee. And so again, both of these, I'm excited that we're going to get them filled and get them here and actively pursuing our agenda. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kinnaman. Okay, that takes us to the action agenda. There were no items pulled from the consent agenda, so we are looking at Board of Trustees Resolution number 1513-1, excuse board member absence. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
You do.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Just for the audience, we have to pass a resolution. Our student trustee, Andrew Campbell, was at a conference. In order to get the benefits of his position, we have to approve that absence. Any other discussion? Trustee Stefan. This is a roll call vote. Dr. Kinnaman, would you please call the roll?
Certainly. Trustee Wilson?
Yes.
Trustee Stefan?
Yes.
Trustee Broughton?
Yes.
Trustee O'Neill?
Yes.
Trustee Sanchez?
Is out of the room.
Okay, thank you. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Do I need a vote on that or no?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
You're
Conflict of interest.
You can't vote on yourself, Andrew.
Conflict of interest.
All right, that takes us to Human Resources, item number 1, resolution again, number 1115-13-2, classified 60-day notice of position elimination. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
So moved.
It's
Second.
been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
One question, I don't have that no, is that it?
All right.
I don't have the resolution to sign off on, this number.
Is that in your packet?
No.
Is it still secretary or clerk?
Clerk? Oh, well, no, I mean, my packet, my envelope says clerk, but there's no, the second resolution isn't there. This one.
We're having a technical glitch.
Oh, take it out of there?
Yeah.
I don't even.
Sorry.
I don't even have the resolution. There we go. We're good.
Okay.
Sign that and take it out and put it in the green folder, please.
Okay, thank you.
Any other, we have a comment, someone asked to address the board. Laura, do you want to come forward to speak to this item, please?
Yes, quite briefly. The district identified the need to reorganize positions in fiscal services in the bursar's office. And as CSEA and the district have a collegial relationship, and as CSEA has a standing demand to bargain the effect of reorganization, we immediately met to review a new position, which is the accounting specialist position, that would replace the lead bursar position. We agreed that the new position would better fulfill the needs of the district and students. The new position also provides a better promotional opportunity for existing staff. And I wanted to thank Dr. Kinnaman and Stan for their excellent efforts to include CSEA early in these discussions. And we hope to continue to nurture that collaborative relationship as we resolve issues to the benefit of both the district, classified bargaining unit, and of course, most importantly, the students that we serve.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions from the board?
So this was, the position's being discontinued, and then it's going to be, a new position's going to be in place? Was that what
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Okay, that's fine. So the position's going to be discontinued, and there's going to be another position in place of this?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I heard. Thank you.
Any other? Hearing none. Student trustee Campbell, how do you vote, please?
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Oh, excuse me, this is a roll call. The roll call, okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. Another glitch. Dr. Kinnaman.
Trustee Campbell?
Aye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Sanchez? Trustee Stefan?
Aye.
Trustee Broughton?
Aye.
Trustee O'Neill?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Sorry, I jumped ahead. Yes, ma'am.
this one. Because this, the wrong resolution, that we probably wouldn't get there till 12. No. I think
Where the auditors are.
they're here.
All right, we need to change our order a little bit. If I can have the consent of the board here. We have a public comment request for the next item, which is Human Resources, item number 2. And we announced that when we came back from closed session, we would be doing the audit for the foundation. So if we can move to that agenda item, which is Fiscal Services, item number 1, the 2012-2013 College of the Desert Foundation Audit Report. Can I have a motion to approve the item as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. We are now into we got here quickly, our audit study session. I looked up and there sorry, Joe, you sort of scared me there.
I scare a lot of people.
It was suddenly you were there. So we are.
They've done this before.
Jim, would you like to introduce the auditor, please, and yourself?
Wayne Carlson from Brabo and Carlson is here. The audit has been before the foundation board and was recommended for approval to you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Would you like to present, sir, and tell us a little bit about what's in this so that we have had the opportunity to review it?
Okay. Yes, we did the audit as of June 30th, 2013 for the foundation. We did our field work near the end of September, finished in October, and resulted in an unqualified opinion.
I don't have a copy.
Just the major items or whatever is you have $25 million in assets at the end of 2013, June 30th, 2013, about $1 million in liabilities, resulting in net assets of a little over $24 million. Last year, the total revenues were almost $4 million. Expenditures were $2.5 million, resulting in an increase in your net assets of $1.5 million. So the bottom line is there's nothing that jumped out at us that was unusual. The audit went smoothly, and the recommendations that we had this year were pretty much following up on last year's, of which most of them were worked on. There was one new one about talking about the documenting the intentions of a donor when they give a contribution to make sure that's in the right place.
Mm-hmm. Does the board have questions, please?
I have a question regarding the Alumni Association. The foundation currently receives some of the funds runs by the Alumni Association to hold.
That was taken care of last year.
Okay, so this.
That was just basically.
Where is that
Well,
stating that?
basically what we talked about is prior year recommendations
Okay.
and what the status was.
Trustee, at the bottom of that, you'll see it says, "We noted during this year the audit that this
Okay.
recommendation was implemented."
It's implemented, okay, got it.
But I think to look past that and probably into what Mary Jane's thinking about is, I know the foundation, and this may be less to the auditors and more to Jim and Lisa. I know that the foundation has been kind of streamlining their books so that they are not only more accurate, but perhaps, the accuracy is the wrong question. They're easier to understand. I believe that's what the deal is. And I'd kind of like to hear how that's progressing, because I hear good reports on the sideline, but I'd like to hear the official.
Okay, what it amounts to, and it's addressed in the audit here, that we have temporarily restricted funds, about 374 of them. And what we're attempting to do is to look at each one and do consolidations to make it easier. I'll be meeting with Lisa Howell, and we're going to take a good hard look at that and try to make a consolidation so that all of the categories are easily understood, not only by us, but also the departments in terms of how they can access it and use it. And that's our goal between now and the next audit.
I think that's excellent. Our foundation has always been very thorough and very careful in the expenditure of funds. Sometimes from the outside, you look at it and go, what does this mean? Which is really just a matter of asking the question, and it's always been easily answered. But I think it will make it easier for us, definitely easier for you, easier for the whole college community and the community as a whole to understand. It's also a way to appreciate those gift givers, because we do, and honoring their wishes, making it in a way that we know for sure that we're honoring their wishes of our donors will definitely be a bonus. So I thank you all for that hard work.
Trustees, any other questions?
I had an opportunity to look this over a couple weeks ago, as did Trustee Wilson, and I was very impressed with it. I really was. I think they're really doing a great job.
Great job.
Excellent. Thank
I have
you.
a question. Is this in public? Is this available for our community here in the Coachella Valley to view? I just want to confirm.
We always post it on the websites.
So it is under, so if somebody wants to go and
foundation
find out,
website,
they'll
correct.
could go into the foundation, click, and see a copy of this.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That document is also
On,
part of the agenda on
right.
our website, under the board.
Okay, thank you.
And it
Just
will
if
be on
people
the,
want to view this in public,
minutes
we're open and
reference.
transparent.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and just to let you know, the 990s are always also posted so that
Thank you.
everything we file with the IRS is available.
I would just like to add that over the past year, the foundation really has, they took last year's recommendations, worked very hard to go through their records, look at their processes, address the recommendations, and they are continuing to strengthen the operations of the foundation. And again, the capacity, I believe, going forward with our new development directors, I think it's really going to benefit the foundation and the college much, and attribute that to Jim's leadership. So thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? All right. Student Trustee Campbell, your advisory vote, please.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion has carried. That takes us back to Human Resources item number 2, Employment Group A, Educational Administrator Non-Renewal of Contract. Do I have a motion to approve the non-renewal of contract as presented?
So move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. We have, before our discussion, we have a request to speak to the board. Roger Bell, please come forward. Pardon me?
It's okay.
Okay, there's 3 minutes. You have 3 minutes, Roger. We have our timer when it's moved out.
All right. My name is Roger Bell. I'm
We'll start your 3 minutes over again.
my name is Roger Bell. I'm classified staff as a library specialist at the College of the Desert Library, and I hope it's not inappropriate for me to address this issue, even though this I don't know how public this is, but I have a few comments I'd like to make, if I may. It's a little late. I wanted to say I would encourage each of you to give this agenda item a full, thorough, and deliberate consideration, but apparently that's already been done, the vote. I don't know if is this vote done and over with, or are we just bring
No,
this up for consideration?
we are going to vote after we
All right.
discuss.
I'm sorry.
We listen to you first, sir.
All right. I would encourage you to give this a careful, thorough, and deliberate consideration, because it has the potential to have a great impact, not only at the library where I work, but to the services we provide to the students and to the faculty and to the college as a whole. Since Carl Phillips started as the dean of the library in the fall of 2010, he has made quite a few immense improvements at the college. And these have been done through his leadership, his direct action, and his encouragement of staff as well as faculty at the library. One of these big improvements, he's made the library an open, inviting, and supportive environment for students and faculty alike. And unfortunately, this condition did not always exist in the library. He's also expanded services to the students that are both needed and desired by the students. One of these big programs we offer at the library is what we call the Textbook Reserve Collection, where we provide a required textbook for each of the courses offered at the library. And Carl has been a big promoter and advertisement of that program and has also expanded that to the Eastern Valley Center and to the Mechathermal Center computer labs, where we've also made copies of the required textbooks offered at those locations available in those computer labs. He's also expanded computer services to the students. The library now has 56 computers available for student use. That's about a number of 20 computers increase over what it was before his arrival. He's lessened the restrictions on those computers that are available to the students, restrictions on access to the internet, on access to students using email, just general web searches and those things. He's also increased the software and programs available on those computers by adding the full Office suite that a lot of times is used by students. He's added Access and Excel programs which did not exist before, which again support the students in their studies. And he has improved library services to the campus as a whole. I think this is one of the big changes that have been made at the library under his stewardship. I'm sorry, is that my time?
Yes, sir, sorry.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Trustees, any discussion?
Yes. So, make sure what we're doing here. 1 second. So this position would be, let me see, contract. Is it this?
C2.
Okay. No, never mind.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions?
Pretty hard.
Hearing none. All, Student Trustee Campbell, your advisory vote?
I'd like to sustain from this vote.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion has carried.
Sustain. I would like to not be part of that
Right.
vote. Sustain.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay, the motion has carried. Item number 3, approval of the 2014-2015 holiday schedule. Do I have a motion to approve the holiday schedule as presented?
I always approve of holidays.
Me too.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? This was put together by a committee, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Yes, they didn't let me pick them out.
They didn't let you take any of those days out? You're tough, Trustee Broughton. Okay, any other discussion? All right, Student Trustee Campbell, your advisory vote, please.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion has carried. Fiscal Services, Administrative Services, number 1. 2012-2013 College of the Desert Foundation audit we already did, so we are moving on to number 2, which is notice of intent to award contracts for the Child Development Center project. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Ronnie?
You're the second,
Those two, right.
Trustee Stefan? All right, any discussion, please?
Yahoo.
Hearing none. Student Trustee Campbell, your advisory vote.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The motion has carried. Item number 3, declared equipment as surplus. Do I have a motion to approve declaring equipment as surplus as presented?
You do?
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Well, they do look like they're surplus.
Yes, they do, don't they? Any comments?
If,
Okay.
Just, this,
I thought Lisa wanted to,
Oh,
Vice President Howell wanted to say
I-
something.
I
That's why.
think you were correct. I apologize.
this item comes to you as an action item, simply because it has not been a regular part of the agenda.
we will be making it a regular part, so it will come to you next time as a consent item. So it's just due diligence, making sure that we are following the process to surplus our equipment when it's no longer useful.
Thank you. Another one of those things that have somehow over the years slipped off of our agenda and now is back on. So they've been doing of equipment's not been being declared as surplus, and we need to do that legally. Okay, any other questions, discussion? Hearing none, student trustee Campbell, your advisory vote, please.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? The motion has carried. Administrative Services, item number 4, consideration and approval of appraisal report and exchange of real property at District's Mecca Thermal Center. Do I have a motion to consider and approve the appraiser's report as presented?
I'd like that honor.
Thank you, Trustee
Second.
Broughton, and it's been moved and seconded by Trustee Stefan. Any discussion, please? Trustee Broughton, I know you're
I am
ready.
just really excited. This is the lot line adjustments that we discussed a few meetings ago, which simply take our property out of the world of future vision that isn't going to come to pass and takes it back into the world of reality. It was an opportunity to be neighbors with our new neighbors, and we'll now have a functioning piece of property where we can actually use every square foot, as opposed to having these interesting artistic shapes. So thank you very much, Mr. Renew, for all the hard work you did chasing these folks to be sure they did their job in a timely fashion. And it's really hard to believe it took that much work and that much time, but you did it, and thank you.
And I'd just like to say, you would think that moving a foot here and a foot there would be an easy thing to do. It is not. There are hundreds and hundreds of pages of documents and reports, but in the end, it's going to work out best for us and our neighbors. Thank you, Trustee Broughton, for your leadership in making this happen, too. And Steve, thank you. Any other comments or discussion? Excuse me. Student Trustee Campbell, your advisory vote?
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion's carried. Section E, Student Success, Student Learning. Item number 1, approval of the 2014-2015 College of the Desert academic calendar. Do I have a motion to approve the academic calendar as presented?
So do. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
That's good.
Hearing none. Trustee Campbell, your advisory vote?
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion has carried. The ARC scorecard, item number 2 of the Student Success Agenda, the annual review of the 2013 ARC scorecard. Do I have a motion to receive the ARC scorecard as presented?
So moved.
It's
Second.
been moved and seconded. And we are going to have a study session based on this item. That'll be part of our discussion. And Dr. Neary is going to come forward and lead us in this presentation. Thank you, Dr. Neary. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity to make this presentation. Thank you, Chairman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Kinnaman, executives, and welcome esteemed guests. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's better. Back a little bit.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and stand up as I do this presentation.
Do we have a portable mic?
I've been known to be pretty loud, so.
I'm pretty deaf.
That was good. Fair enough.
I think my deafness outas your loudness.
So until they can do that, I can go ahead and start. So today I'm going to present for you the 2013 Student Success Scorecard of College of the Desert. The question becomes, why are we reviewing this scorecard? There's a lot of legislation and a lot of discussion behind it, but there's 3 basic premises. It's a recommendation out of the Student Success Initiative. Most importantly, as an institution, we're being asked to review the benchmark data for College of the Desert and how our benchmark data compares to the statewide average as we look at ourselves. So again, this is called the Student Success Scorecard. It is considered now the accountability framework for the California community colleges. It's about student progress and student metrics, and later we'll discuss more in detail what those metrics are. It's built on a previous accountability report that you used to see at board meetings called the Accountability Reporting of the Community Colleges. And more importantly, this was a direct recommendation from the Student Success Task Force as they were looking at student success and the role that California community colleges would play. So the Student Success Scorecard became legislation as part of the Student Success Act. It is considered California community colleges' new accountability tool. But why? Why are we at this location? These are considered the performance metrics of a statewide system that has been called into action. It's about the college preparedness in high school. So when you spoke earlier about those relationships with our community in high school, it's a vital component of this movement. It is about success metrics. Are our students completing certificates, degrees? Are they transferring? And it's about wage gains. Are they completing their career and transfer pathways? And most importantly, are they getting jobs? And what are those wage earnings with those jobs? And what California Community College is trying to do is focus in on momentum points. What is it and where can we get our students to succeed? Is it at 30 units? Is it at the beginning? Is it through the assessment and orientation process? So a lot of those questions and discussion and thoughts were put into this legislation. And most importantly, this came directly out of the Chancellor's office. This accountability tool is not intended to rank colleges. It's meant to provide a benchmark data for sustained improvement. That means we're not using this tool to compare ourselves to each other. We're not using this tool to compare ourselves to our region. What we're using this tool to say, where do we rank in a statewide system? Because we are now sending out messages of student success as a system-wide effort. And where do we stand? And the question to ourselves is this where we want to be? You're missing all the bells and whistles I put in for you. So the legislation, oh good, the legislation supports is called the Student Success Act of 2012, Senate Bill 1456. There are 8 focus areas that came out of this bill, 22 recommendations. And it is recommendation 7.3 that specifies that we have to, as a community college in California, review the Student Success Scorecard. It links funding to support, and right there I have section 84754.5, which means that part of our obligation as a public institution in a California community college system is to review and discuss what's in this scorecard. And as a result, our review and our minutes of this scorecard will lead and lend itself to or secure our annual categorical funding streams that come through the student success or in support of student success. So it's one of our commitments. And again, just to re-emphasize, it's to implement the accountability scorecard. Now, the media coverage. This new tool, accountability tool, in the California community colleges was launched April 8th, 2013. And that day alone, there was 30 news stories released statewide, nationally. And from what I understand from the Chancellor's office, we even got international recognition. Most of the stories were a combination of positive and neutral themes, which for the state of California and the public school systems was a huge impact in education, higher education, nationally and legislatively. We have been complimented even for having one of the most statewide transparent tools. And in fact, the positive themes and media coverage carries on until this month, even recently, when on November 12, 2013, there was another positive article published and released stating that the California community colleges are moving together as a system for the new technology, innovation, and projects that will support a virtual campus and the online tools. Why is this important? Because recently there's been accountability questions, there's been been a public cry. And right now, because of this tool and the transparency of it, California has been put in the right spot where it's supposed to be, especially with its California community colleges system serving the largest higher education population nationally. Now, what does this have to do? The scorecard interaction with the Board of Trustees. So here's the Ed Code, but in many cases, Ed Code and Title V is an interpretation. So what does this Ed Code translate to? And our obligation as a community college in California and the scorecard interaction from the board. It means we review the 2013 scorecard. We reference all the metrics in the scorecard, which we will do in later slides. And then most importantly, it's about a public, transparent discussion for the community, the campus community, and most importantly, address questions and comments from the Board of Trustees. So I've been saying the word metrics, but what does that mean and what's on our scorecard? It's our persistence. That means students who have attended College of the Desert for 3 terms in a row, fall, spring, fall. It's about our completion, how our students are getting through their pathways in terms of earning a degree, certificate, transfer, and it's about milestones. And so far, the first milestone defined by the state is the completion of 30 units. And lastly, it's how we do in basic skills and career technical education. However, as much positive publicity we have been getting for the scorecard, there's still challenges with the scorecard, and you'll have lots of questions, so I'll address the challenges now. The scorecard is based on a 6-year cohort. Now, I don't have a direct answer, nor does the state, as to why 6 years, when most of the programs at the California Community College should, in fact, be finished with 2 years or less. But right now, the definition is 6-year cohort. The scorecard is based on data reported up until the 2011 and 2012 academic year. And lastly, most importantly, the trends we're going to show you, we do not know the sample size or the number of students. So some of the trends are interesting, and it's something we might want to look into. But it's the difference of whether that trend is affecting or significant in terms of impacting a group of 100 or 200 students or thousands of students. So that was a huge criticism. So the state has announced that future improvements are on its way. There's an upgrade further down the road. And luckily for us, in improving the tool and the transparency of the California Community College system, discussions have reconvened. The first metric on College of the Desert scorecard is the college profile, which looks at gender, age, race, ethnicity, and other student and campus information. So I will review the metrics with you, but to help you and assist you and sift through the data, we'll do trend analysis for you in different text boxes, which you probably see in your handouts. So what does our college profile tell us about College of the Desert? There are more females than males that attend College of the Desert, which is very similar to the state average. Most students that attend College of the Desert are either between less than 20 to 49 years old. It represents 95% of our student population. What's interesting, COD's 50 and older student population is actually half of the state average. So there was a lot of, which is an interesting trend considering our community. We serve a majority Hispanic and white students. In total, they represent 87.6%, with the majority of over 60% being Hispanic or Latino students. What's interesting is the statewide average for Hispanic students is 35.9% and white students is 31%. College of the Desert, as a California community college, serves almost double the state average of the Latino population in the state of California.
Question, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if there's no, we don't know the statistical base.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know how accurate outside of our own information when we compare ourselves to the state. Is that?
That's correct, because what if someone's African American population represents 20%, and then we see trends with ours who represents 2 or 3 or 4%, then you're dealing with apples and oranges.
So it actually, the only value to us, I mean, is that we look at ourselves here. That's the only value for us. Thank you.
And that's a basic push from the state, to look at ourselves and address what is our definition of student success.
And how we could improve, if I may add, how to improve our institution effectiveness in serving the Latino population here at the College of the Desert. Is that correct?
That's correct. Other information. College of the Desert's average class size for credit courses is slightly higher than the statewide average. We average 32, and the statewide average is 29. Percent of full-time faculty is below statewide average. Statewide average is 56.9%, just under 57%. Ours is just under 50%. And for your definition, percent of full-time faculty is defined by percent of courses taught by full-time faculty.
Could you back it up? Take the blue thing off for a moment, because I can't get the numbers for all of the ethnic race there.
So full-time equivalent students, 7,561. Credit sections, 1,818. Non-credit sections, 211. And credit section average median size is 32.
Thank you.
Now, the second metric on our scorecard is persistence, which means attended 3 terms in a row. The reason persistence is considered an important metric is because if students complete that first year of higher education, they increase their likelihood of completing a pathway. So as you can see, our college-prepared students persist 3 terms at 68%. Our underprepared for college, that means they tested in 1 or more basic skills, persist at 67%. As you can see, there's not a huge difference between the college-prepared and the underprepared for college. Now, what are the trends that we see within this data? 100% of our 50 and older college-prepared students persist for 3 terms. What is another trend that we see in this data? Persistent of College of the Desert's college-prepared and underprepared for college students persist at higher rates than the statewide average. We are persisting as high as 6% than the statewide average for our college-prepared and underprepared for college students. And another trend is in the underprepared for college, Hispanics persist, or Latinos persist, comparably or higher than most racial or ethnic counterparts, except for Asians.
So what, if we're looking at this telling us something, when we have such a very small discrepancy between our college prepared and our college underprepared, how are we as a college interpreting that?
See, those are the questions that this data is meant to ask. So the question is, should they be comparable, or should one group perform higher than the other? And I would fully expect, as an institution with a leadership role and the board goals and the president's goals, that some of those questions will be researched.
Well, how would this impact our, I mean, we've spent a lot of time, energy, and discussion for many years on our assessment test, our prerequisites, and how, this to me says that might not all be as valid as we think it is. Am I wrong in my questioning?
You're not wrong, but those are the questions we need to ask and answer.
And how are we going to go about that then? We just going to, I mean, is this part of the team effort? Okay.
Could you back up one slide and then take off that golden box, please, so I can get
Yes,
those
of course.
numbers?
I actually have this report for you as well.
There's one in your binder that's
no,
a
but
little
the golden box.
miniature, but it's in there.
But does it have the golden box removed?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
The one in your binder has no
But
trends
you need your
boxes, so to
spyglasses
speak.
to see it.
Spyglass.
And then we actually have a clearer report that we can send to you electronically.
And I think we got that one too. It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
If you look at the electronic agenda, you can see it clearly on there.
Pull it up.
Now, we'll continue with the next metric, which is 30 units. and it's all about who at COD completed 30 units. Again, this is another milestone metric, meaning that students who complete 30 units of their higher education are most likely to complete a pathway. So 69.8% of our college-prepared students complete 30 units. 59.5% of our unprepared for college students complete 30 units. And there's actually a few interesting trends here that I do want to point out. And that's probably more of the difference you were looking to see in the last slide, but it didn't occur with the current data, unfortunately.
Does this reflect, would this slide with the completing 30 units be affected by our 12 and 18 unit certificate programs? I mean, is that,
Are they taken out of this?
I mean, are they extracted from this, or?
So basically, when they do 30 units or a full degree or transfer pathway, CTE is usually removed from the equation.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's too early to ask for this, but as time goes on, it'd be interesting to see how our off-campus students, our other campus students, compare to the main campus students, and it may help us track what we should be offering somewhere else, you know, as well as offering it here, because this is the main campus, the flagship, the backup, the however you want to look at it. But it seems to me if we could pull out an off-campus site and look at it and go, oh, well, these folks seem to be falling off earlier or persisting longer. We need to ask what we're doing or not doing. It's
That's
like
a
I
good
say,
point.
it's too early, but with the pathways that you're establishing as that team works together to go along, it may be an easier metric to pull out.
That's a good point. Thank you. So, College of the Desert college-prepared students perform similarly to statewide average in students who completed 30 units. Now, College of the Desert's underprepared for college students perform about 6% under the statewide average. And here are the trends. The underprepared for college Asian students complete 30 units at higher percentages than other racial and ethnic counterparts. But there's an interesting trend when you're looking at the college-prepared African American, Asian, Native American, and Filipino students. They complete 30 units at higher percentages.
Higher percentages than?
Any other racial encounter. And Hispanic and whites complete 30 units at comparable rates in all categories. And what's interesting here is that even though they complete 30 units comparably, in some cases the Hispanics are outperforming the whites.
Very good.
The next metric is completion. It's about earning a degree, certificate, or transfer. Our college-prepared students are completing either of those three at 64%. Our underprepared for college is at 35.5%. So basically, you can argue that our college-prepared students have almost double the chance of completion as compared to our underprepared college students.
And the question is, how could we get that 30, the unprepared for college, at a higher amount? I think that's what we at the College of the Desert need to address ourselves.
But we obviously we're doing okay with persistence because they're amazingly comparable.
Yes.
So it's some other item that we need.
And it's about finding what those other items are.
And that's what you're talking about, like orientation,
That's exactly
what you're
right.
working on right now. Okay.
And even there, the orientation to me speaks more to persistence. We are achieving that. But if we're not completing either our, which I've always felt, and we're improving that greatly, our pathway is not, I mean, the students hang out here, but they're not going down that road to actually, they don't know what the road is, okay?
But I feel that has to lead with orientation too, because when you come as a new student, you it's gonna, the structure that I looked at, I think it's gonna go well with the new high school students that come in, because it's the old orientation that I came into was like it was only 3 hours, but which I think was long, but it was too much information put it at one time. And I think the structure is now, it is longer, but they're going to be more interacting with students, more moving different areas. So I think it's going to help us in the long run.
That's good. That's a good.
And see, that's a good point. That's something we should look at once you institute the new orientation. Now, again, Asians, college prepared or underprepared for college, have a higher percentage of completion here at College of the Desert. And again, in yet another metric, Hispanic and whites in all categories have similar completion rates. And in some cases, as stated before, and in some metrics, the Hispanics are outperforming their white counterparts. And in total, our completion rates, we have a 6 to 7% lower than the statewide average for both the college prepared and underprepared for college student at College of the Desert. Now, basic skills to college level, and this is really about completing a pathway. For all our students who started out in a basic skills course in math, English, or ESL, how many of them completed their college level counterpart in the same discipline? For math, that pathway is completed at 26%. For English, at 41%, and for ESL at 35.5%. And there's actually some really interesting trends in this one that I like to show you. Females perform at higher percentages than males in math and English in completing this basic skills pathway. In all three categories, COD is 1 to 3% above the statewide average. Trends. Asians are more likely to complete the college level course of the basic skills discipline they enrolled into. 100% of African Americans complete their college level course after taking the ESL basic skills course. The 50 and older are the least likely age group to complete their college level English or math course. And the last significant trend is Pacific Islanders are the least likely race and ethnic group to complete their college level course after enrolling in basic skills.
So we're saying that we have a 100% rate with our 50 and older that are college prepared, but if they don't come college prepared, we don't do as good a job.
That's correct. So the last metric is career technical education. I put the slogan up there, doing what matters for jobs and economy, because that has now been adopted as the state slogan for the career and technical educational programs. And it's about when our students come here and they're on a career and technical education pathway, are they completing it? Are they getting jobs? And is there a wage gain? And in terms of career technical educational pathway, before I address the trends, there are different pathways. They can either be certificate, they can either be degrees, and they can also be transfer pathways. So here at College of the Desert, our CTE pathway is completed at 59.7%. College of the Desert's CTE completion rate is higher than the statewide average by almost 5%. And here are the trends in the data. Filipino and Asian students complete their CTE pathways at higher percentages than any other ethnic and racial counterpart. Women complete their CTE pathways at higher percentages than their male counterparts. The 50 and older population complete their CTE pathways, again, at much lower percentages than the other age groups. And you can see where the average is between 58 to 69%. Our 50 and older population in CTE pathways is completed at 29.7%. Now, remember the challenges of the scorecard. The question now becomes, the 50 and older population represent 5%, where the majority represent 95%. So again, we don't know those numbers, unfortunately.
That was cool.
So what's next? Today, it's about reviewing and accepting the information presented and posted at the State Chancellor's website. Tomorrow, the institution reviews College of the Desert scorecards and reports findings. And the future, as directed by the legislation, the state of California, and all three public institutions, especially the California community colleges, what is our student success plan? Thank you very much. And do you have any questions and or comments?
I think also as a board and as a president and with our administrators, we also need to have to set the tone, what we here at the College of the Desert can improve on. So we have to kind of get these cohorts and just kind of, how could we improve this institution more effectiveness in these metrics? So I think that these are questions, and maybe once we get more data, we could then present these findings to our Coachella Valley community. And I think that would be our maybe another step, President Kinnaman, to present these findings to our community here in the Coachella Valley.
I want to point out one of the trends that I think is really important and speaks to the great work that College of the Desert and the community does. I've analyzed higher education institutions for at least 15 years at all three public state systems. I have never seen so many comparable rates between Hispanic and Latino students, especially with such a large Latino population. So whatever we are doing as a college and community, we have some of the best practices here. I've never seen anything like it. And to have no or little disparity between your Hispanic and white student population is amazing. So I've only been here a few years, so congratulations to the community, the college, the leadership, and the board. Amazing.
I'd like to believe that that is at least in part because the college embraces the concept of helping, of student success. Not you are female, you are male, you are Hispanic, you are white, you are what, it's the student. I think the student is very important to us, each person as an individual. And because of that, we honor everyone. And almost every college student has challenges, and our community college students perhaps have a wider array. And we have a wonderful staff and community that reaches out to help shore up and support those students. So our success is because this college embraces our students. I think we try very hard to work as a team, and our team is to be commended for that hard work that they do.
I agree.
Good report.
I have a few things that I want to ask about. First off, we kept comparing ourselves to the average throughout the state, right?
That's
Okay,
correct.
when this report goes to the state and all the other colleges put theirs into the state system, and they're compared again, right? Okay, will there be rankings? Like, I would like to know, for example, remediation for 50 and over. How, who rates higher than us and what are they doing different than us, type of thing? Will there be anything like that that will come out of this, or is it just
No ranking.
data?
Just data and what the local California Community College wants to do with the information on the scorecard. Mm-hmm.
The rankings were done in the past. That's been eliminated.
Yes.
That's been
That
eliminated.
part, that's what you're thinking of, the
Well, I'm
rankings we've
thinking
had in the
that,
past.
like,
You're thinking best practices.
I'm
It'd be
thinking about the
interesting to know.
absolute best practice for a group that maybe we're not reaching. Maybe there's another group, another college out there that is able to reach that group, and I want to know what they're doing. And what could we implement here, or could we try here?
See, that information is available, and those questions are the questions we should be asking, so that way we can follow and pursue best practices and see how we can modify them and make them work for our institution based on the leadership and goals of the Board of Trustees and the President's goals. Mm-hmm.
Excellent report.
That's it.
Very good report.
Thank you very much.
I've been waiting all day.
Thank you, Dr.
Full
Neary.
of information. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair, if I may add,
Yes, ma'am.
working in local government, I hear a lot about the disparity between East Valley and West Valley. And it doesn't seem like that exists here at the college, that we've really kind of gone beyond that and really bridged that alleged gap that's out there. So thank you. This report is amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. So it's really quite a teaching tool for me. Thank you.
I think it should give our high school students, at least from the East Valley, there's always a lot of concern that those students will not succeed, you know? And this says, hang in there, work hard, you can do it. What better message can you send?
Any other comments? Hearing none, we have to vote on this. Student trustee Campbell, your advisory vote, please.
Aye.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion has carried, and we have completed the action agenda, and we've completed our study sessions, and we are into item number 14, suggestions for future meetings, and we'll start with student trustee Campbell and work our way this way.
Okay. I would say I would like to. We're on future agenda items. You said, okay.
Future agenda items.
Future agenda.
Can you come back to me?
Sure. Trustee Wilson.
None at this time, except I am looking forward to Dr. Pam Clute from UCR doing a presentation next month on STEM, and wanted to thank President Kinnaman and Leanne and you, Mr. Chair, for making those arrangements. So looking forward to it.
Trustee Sanchez.
I'd like to, as always, look at a future item on the agenda, an update of the Desert Hot Springs Learning Center. That's something I would really appreciate. And looking forward to maybe President Kinnaman take this a roadshow for the whole Coachella Valley, kind of talking about the best practices and what we have achieved here at the College of the Desert. So I would like to see something put together so that Coachella Valley can see the great things we're doing at the College of the Desert.
So that's under comments, not future agenda items.
Yeah, because we would like to maybe have something formally put
You want to see a presentation here.
and invite,
Trustee Stefan?
I would like to see maybe a study session on concurrent dual enrollment, how we're working with the K-12, and maybe, that is a future agenda or possible study session.
Thank you. Trustee Broughton?
Oh, I concur with Bonnie. I think that we need to continue to work with that relationship with K-12 and continue to talk about things we can do to enhance that relationship.
Thank you. I don't know if this is a future agenda item or just an update in your next report, but where are we with the central campus development? That sort of has slipped.
Actually, staff met this week and discussed Central Plant redevelopment project. Our new vice president, working with Mac and Steve, are going to be going back to a schedule and looking at those projects and moving forward because we have had some time that's elapsed as we've been going through these searches. But, and I don't know, Lisa, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm going to, I guess. I don't know if you have anything else to update on that since our last meeting.
I don't, other than we are meeting on it and putting a schedule together, so I imagine we would have something at the next meeting for you.
So will the committee that Trustee Broughton and I serve on be brought back up?
We will have user group committees that will include trustees. Yes.
So we'll reinitiate those again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that takes us to board comments. Back to, excuse me.
Oh, no, you're fine. I couldn't find my agenda item I wanted to put on there, so
Okay.
next time I'll bring it up.
Okay, comments?
Comments. Just thank you for the report. It was a really good report. All the comments that the Board of Trustees had to, their reports were good this board meeting. Sorry. And just have a good week.
Thank you. Trustee Wilson.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yes, it's that time. Trustee Sanchez Fulton.
Comments?
My mind went blank.
Just really appreciate this report. about the student success scorecard. I thought that this was great. Thank you.
Trustee Stefan.
I just want to thank everybody at the college for welcoming my students on campus, for coming out and supporting my students at their school site, and all the faculty that were involved with Mold Day, all the faculty that are involved every day. I know that the Mesa students are hoping that all of us will go over there. I didn't burn the school down when I walked into their section over there. I know they'd be delighted to see us all, and they're trying to hold it open till we get out of here. So I guess I should shut up. But I just want to say that if there's any way that we could duplicate those students and Mold Day for every student in the Coachella Valley, that would generate such great success for our college, and it would really set a precedence. I just wish there was some way we could do that, because it's such an incredible event, and those students are so great. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Broughton.
No, it's just an opportunity to say thank you for this scorecard. It gives us some idea of things we need to work on and gives us a chance to pat ourselves. That would be, in big terms, for the staff, all the hard work that's done on this campus, for folks to pat themselves on the back and say, job well done. Can always be better, but we've really done a good job, and it's really nice to hear. Thank you.
I'll sort of follow up on that. I think the Student Success Scorecard is a continuation of all the positive, many issues, elements we've been hearing about the last few months. I think the college has started on a new direction. I think everyone, you can sense the positive, let's move forward. Everybody's ambitious, everybody's working very hard, and everybody seems to feel good about what they're doing. And I know that makes us feel good about what we're doing.
Right.
And it's permeated the whole college, and I thank Dr. Kinnaman and all of his staff for all that they have done. Everyone, faculty, staff, everyone, for all the hard work, and it's moved us in a new direction, and we should be very proud. And I think that scorecard shows how proud we should be. We're not pinnacle yet, but we're very proud. And thank you all. Do we need to go back into closed session, sir?
We don't. Can I say anything?
Yes, you may, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Neary, that was a nice presentation. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I liked your tone when you presented. I'm going to have to learn that. The other thing, it was very warm. The other thing is, we just want to thank Trustee O'Neill for his leadership this past year. We've had some fun, and you've embraced it and worked through many issues. And again, the climate has much to do with you and the board as well. And so it takes all of us, bringing the best game we have on the day that we're playing. It takes all of us doing that, and I appreciate you doing that. And again, with you, I also applaud what staff and faculty have been doing. Many of the items for new agenda items that were mentioned, which is pleasing to hear and resonates well, it's about our students and the student success agenda. And so whether it's dual enrollment, concurrent enrollment, whether it's the ARC report, it's really about that student agenda plan. And as we develop that as an institution, I believe we'll have lots of opportunities here at the board and other venues to communicate what that plan looks like and what some of the best practices are that we could consider, or that maybe other institutions will want to follow that we're doing. So.
And that will help us to formulate the goals that we all need to be
Yes.
developing very quickly.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other
I
comments?
just want to add that next week, Trustee Sanchez, Fulton and I are going to, I was getting mixed up. We're headed to San Francisco for a California Community College conference. And, I, for one, am very excited. There is a new trustee component to that conference that I'm looking forward to. So thank you so much for allowing me to go.
Thank
And
you
I
for going.
really appreciate that too as
It's
well.
good. It's good. We need, as we said last time, we need to be doing more of this. We've lived in a shadow for a few years because of lack of funds, and now we can get out and do what we need to do as part of our responsibilities. On that note, I would like to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving holiday, and unless there's something else, we will adjourn. Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Just for me. Oh yeah, she says loving early in the morning, just for me.